Geese, Yetta, I see geese. Does that distract you?
It really does.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
And so we are honored, actually, to be able to come alongside you for the last 30 years, not only selling and buying and investing in real estate, 30 years of coming alongside you to build your faith, build your fund, build your finances, and even strengthen, heal, and flourish inside relationships. So really, it's 30 years of building your life, your home, and your money, or your wealth, as we call it. Yeah. And so we're going to discover that as we work from home, or many of us are working from home or a hybrid, what are the strategies that we can do to stay focused, increase our effectiveness so we can earn extra money or keep our income increasing rather than decreasing?
Yeah, increasing productivity.
Right.
And not being distracted by the geese might help.
Right.
Because the little rotters, they honk, they grab my attention, they sit in the rivers, and there's hundreds of thousands of them. I drive by the field and there's gazillions in the field eating the corn that was left on the ground. And so they distract me all the time.
They do. And we've had some of our worst conversations that didn't go well initially about the geese. Now it's funny and we laugh about it, and others try and they'll scream geese everywhere we are because it's hugely distracting when you're in the middle of a sentence, or if you're at work in the middle of a thought and you distract yourself.
Yes.
Or someone distracts you. And that's one of the advantages where a lot of people's productivity has been increased at home, because they don't have the number of external distractions.
Yeah, the got a minute for a question, the water cooler conversations, the sports conversation. They can actually get down to work. Right.
And one of the things I've learned is that I've said for years, and you've probably heard us say this on lots of Life's Inside Track episodes, that when you're in deep work, when you're actually focused on a task and you've set a timeline for your task, because if you set a timeline, you'll actually get more done in shorter time. Unless you've expanded it out too far.
So the work expands to fill the time allotted. I find that with meetings too. People go, let's have an hour meeting. I go, no, let's have a 20-minute meeting.
And you tend to be able to get, as long as you have a clear agenda going in. So use the tools, use the systems. But what you've heard me say again and again on this episode is that it takes 22, 23 minutes to get back on task if you're in deep work and you're distracted. Apparently, studies show that if it's external distraction, that's about the average. If it's an internal distraction, meaning you're thinking about undone things that you shouldn't be thinking about right now, it's 29 minutes on average.
9 minutes.
So basically a half hour.
Wow. How do they measure that stuff?
Well, they do in studies. And actually, some of the studies I've been reading, they do their utmost not to do a simulated activity. They go into workplaces to try and figure it out so that it's more accurate rather than when it's a simulated situation. But bottom line is, how do you use the tools available to you to help you rather than hinder you?
Oh, so there's a good one.
Right? So I love that we can get easy access to emails and text messages and notifications, but I actually turn off basically all my notifications and I schedule myself between tasks to look at my technology and keep it organized and keep things in folders, because I don't want to look at the email items more times than is necessary. So I pop them into a folder, schedule the time for things that I have to review, that I have to take time to think about and to answer, rather than see it in my 44 emails that are sitting in my inbox.
Yeah, well,
that's one strategy.
There's another strategy is do the most important things first. Now, if your job is to check emails and respond, then that's the most important thing. But for many of us, emails is a distraction.
Right.
And so Yetta and I spend time, usually at night, but sometimes in the morning, writing down our most important 3 things. If we got those 3 done in a day, everything else would be
seemingly insignificant
Yes.
or not necessary at all sometimes if you handle your most essential tasks first. And that's something that people have been talking about for decades now. Handle the most essential first, but it doesn't give us as big a reward as doing the little easy things. And so we lose money.
Yes, we can. We can lose lots of money because we're not doing the important things. And we're not being noticed for doing the important things to our company, knowing what those important things are. The other thing I find super good for productivity and making me more productive, more valuable is batching. Batching and time blocking. So I chunk things into chunks. For instance, if I have different projects to do and I set time for those, or innovation and creativity, I set time for that, then I'm not spreading email in every 5 minutes when the notification goes off. Oh, you got email. I'll chunk maybe 2 times a day where I'm reading email and only reading email.
Right. And nothing else. So you're
Nothing
focused. And even when we're creating Life's Inside Track, it's incredibly difficult if we do one show or segment A of episode 160 or whatever, and then an hour later we go back and we do segment B of 160.
It doesn't work.
It's mind numbing.
We can do a whole show, maybe in 45 minutes, or we can spend 90 minutes and create the quick outline of 4 shows and then develop each show separately.
Right, because we keep them themed, but batching and chunking and keeping a structure. I think that's the word. And if anybody knows me, they know I'm not structure girl. And yet I have learned the value of structure for productivity and for providing excellent service.
Yes.
Like excellent service is part of this way of increasing your income. And whether that's excellent service to your employer or excellent service to your client because you're self-employed, it has the same net income effect.
And then find tools and technology that can increase or expedite your ability to do things. Now, for us, one of the things we use is like Google Suites. It's so great that you can work on a document. I can work on the document. Sometimes we're not even in the same house, same room or office, and we can work on it simultaneously. We can see each other's edits. Sometimes we work on it together in the same room, but we both have a computer and we're editing as we go. Or staff can see the changes or make changes on it, suggest edits. Like the technology is amazing now to increase productivity, even if we're not in the same location.
Right. And that has the net effect of what?
Increasing your wealth, because when your productivity goes up, your income will go up. Whether you're an entrepreneur and you get paid for a result or you get paid by the hour, if you have a higher productivity than everybody else in your company, you're open for promotion and expansion. You're more valuable to the company. Why not pay you more money? Because they're afraid to lose you.
Well, exactly. It's truth. And so simplicity is really got only 2 little steps. One is identify the essential and eliminate the rest.
Yep. Leo Babauta.
We got it. Exactly.
Yeah. So we're honored to be your advocates on this journey of building wealth through real estate and having a life exponential.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.